Good morning, Civic Media Mornings
Hey.
live stream. We're
Good
going to get
morning.
going in 20 seconds here.
6:06 right now. You're listening to the Civic Media Network. This is Civic Media Mornings. My name is Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. Are we cold starting now? There's no theme music today?
What happened to our
What?
music?
You
We
didn't-
didn't hear our music.
There's no
You didn't?
music.
We didn't hear it.
I don't
Seriously?
start
No?
unless there's music. That's I
Well,
gotta
there
get.
was music in my head,
There
so
was-
I don't.
Well,
I'm singing
your head
songs
is a
myself,
scary
maybe. That's,
spot.
I don't know.
All right.
That's-
No,
hey,
we didn't have
this
any
is-
music.
An inauspicious start to the big show. It's Friday. Thankfully, we are here. We have made it to a Friday. Happy Deep Gras for those who celebrate. If maybe we'll explain that later. If not, look it up. You're fine. We got a lot to cover today. We're going to be playing Fact or Fiction with Ron Johnson's Telephone Town Hall.
Ooh.
We're going to be checking in with a grassroots organization in Minnesota because it's all solved. Everything's good.
It's perfect.
But
All the ICE troops, well, sort of, that's
Yeah.
how they went in there, but all the ICE agents are apparently pulling out, according to the Borders are.
the timing, a little curious. So we'll get into
Sure.
that. We've got a robot that may be recording your children. And there's a lot to get to. So why not start? And we are going to start, of course, with
America
Jamie.
2026.
It's been 2 weeks, Jamie. It's
It
been
has.
2 weeks. We were promised that within 2 weeks, the funding question over the DHS part of the funding bill for next year would be settled. That, of course, surprise, ladies and gentlemen, not been settled. Another surprise, Mike Johnson told everybody to just go home. Does this sound familiar? Yes, it's a beautiful playbook. Now the Democrats will be played because we are set toward another partial, small, some would say insignificant government shutdown because there's been no deal reached on funding for DHS, and the House has all gone home. Not for 9 months like the Wisconsin
Right.
legislature,
Well, they
but
still
they're
have a couple
going
more
home.
days. They're fine here in Wisconsin. They've still got some work to
Oh
do.
yeah, they're fine here in Wisconsin, but again, tonight is the night. No,
Yeah.
no more. The 2-week timetable, the imaginary and always referenced 2-week timetable
Right.
has come and gone.
So this particular standoff is centering on immigration enforcement. If you haven't been following along, because I know there's been a lot of headlines to follow along with, but Democrats are demanding new limits on ICE operations following last month's fatal shootings by the agents in Minnesota. And what they want is independent oversight, an end to so-called roving patrols, and a requirement that immigration warrants be signed by a judge. Now, of course, the GOP, and let's be honest, what they're asking is not out of line. These
No,
things
this is
seem-
not crazy demands,
No, absolutely. So Republicans, though, as you can imagine, are strongly opposing those changes, and they argue that it would cripple immigration enforcement. Leaders say that the White House has already made concessions and are now accusing the Democrats of pushing the department towards the shutdown because it's always the Democrats' fault.
Of
every time.
course. How about you
Yeah.
stay and debate this till it's done? Well, that would be one thing. But come on, what is the holdup for Republicans about judicial warrants? Could it be that if you have to have a judge sign it, you actually need proof? You need proof to say that this person is who we say they are. They have done what we say they did. Here is the evidence that backs it up. And I think most rational people don't see a problem with that because that happens in any other criminal proceeding. You need a judicial warrant. The police can't come into your house just because they think you sound different or they have some suspicion. Well, if you have suspicion, You have to explain to the judge why. What's your probable cause? And then the judge will grant you a warrant. That's how it is for everything else. Why should grabbing people off the streets or bursting into their homes or businesses be any different? What are you afraid of? What are you trying to hide? People can draw their own conclusions, but it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And what I think is really interesting about this is the Republicans right now, as far as public perception goes, they're losing this issue, right? Immigration was a huge factor in Trump's 2024 reelection campaign. And it's usually been the Republican Party who's been really strong on this issue. It was most of the reason why so many Americans decided to vote for this current administration in 2024. If you look at recent polling, though, and I know you can only put so much stock into that, but even here in Wisconsin, that advantage for the Republicans has been shrinking. And a new survey actually finds that while Trump and most Republicans still back that tough immigration action, independent voters, which is key to both voting blocs, right? They are increasingly uneasy, and they believe that this approach is just far gone, too far gone for them.
Once you murder two innocent people,
right?
That kind of will
changes public perception.
Yes, it should. It should anyway. It should change the tide, but we don't know. But it's like this one, they're going to try to blow into big proportions. But Jamie, you and I both know that this much shutdown is really not going to affect day-to-day folks too much, if at all.
And let's be clear, the talks are still ongoing, but Congress has now recessed for 2 weeks. Because 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks every single time. 2 weeks. So this path forward is really uncertain. And obviously there's no agreement right now. And so midnight tonight, as you alluded to, will be the deadline. But you're right. The question now becomes what happens to DHS without funding. If you were all excited thinking, ooh, we pull the ICE agents from the streets, Kristi Noem goes back to the dark depths of her closet, which, let's be real, she's already there because of the Alex Preddy. You haven't seen her trotted out in front of cameras for a few weeks now. That's not going to happen. None of that's going to happen, because even if this shutdown happens and there is nothing that comes about by midnight tonight, mostly Homeland Security employees would continue to work because their roles are considered essential to public safety and national security. Many wouldn't be paid until funding is restored. Now, more than 90% of DHS's 272,000 employees actually stay on the job, and more than 93% of immigration and customs enforcement and customs and border protection workers would also keep working. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Remember, we talked about the big, beautiful bill. It was passed last summer. ICE in particular has that extra cushion. Do not forget that. Last summer,
Don't cry for ICE, folks.
No. They passed an extra $75 billion budget for ICE last summer as part of the big, beautiful bill. And so resources from that are what they will use to ride out any lapse in funding. Resources from $75 billion is what they'll use to ride out a lapse in funding.
We'll try to find some scraps. What do you think of all this? If you want to get involved, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. John is in Oshkosh. He wants to jump in. Hey, John.
I think Cindy's on the phone.
We had Cindy on the line.
Cindy on the phone.
Cindy on the line.
John,
I see.
John texted in. Cindy, what do you have to add this morning?
Well, I'm kind of disappointed to hear that they're going to be able to run if they shut down, because I've been calling their offices every day telling them to shut this down, defund this stupidity. And I'm so disappointed about, these Republicans are the party that talks about having all these freedoms, having freedom, freedom this, freedom that, liberty this, liberty that. But who do they mean that for? Us, the people, or for the government to have the freedom to do whatever it wants to do?
That's a good point.
Said.
Thank you so much for the call.
And I think
Cindy.
it is the latter, Cindy. I mixed up the calls and the text.
That's okay. That's okay.
All
John
right.
John also texted in saying it's all based on racism. Right. So
there was no music. It's throwing me off from the jump. I'm going to be off all day, Jamie, just so you know.
I fixed it, though.
Okay, good.
We'll see. We'll see.
We will see. We will see.
Thank you, Parker.
And Mark from Prairie du Sac texted, sounds like Republicans really don't like the Constitution at all anymore. There's a lot more of the text, but yes, that does seem to be the case, Mark. That is an insightful comment, because they don't really seem to care. From tariffs to everything else, the Constitution is just some old antique that they are going to change, just like they remove other things from national parks and exhibits that they don't like.
And it's interesting with the Republican Party, because they always have been the party of American value, and they've always been the one to talk about following the laws and the Constitution, and the Democrats were just this party of debauchery and non-rule following, and they don't care about the Constitution. When did those two roles flip? It's mind-boggling to think about where we've come. If you've paid attention to politics at any length, right, over the course of your lifetime, you knew that those roles were very, very distinct. And all of a sudden, at some point, they shifted, they flipped, and now it's kind of like we watch Republicans take the Constitution and be like, well, let's just throw this away. The hell with it. We're gonna just do whatever we want. It's with no consequence.
And I would say it's probably, it's easy to say it's not every Republican, because the citizenry,
Agreed.
Republican citizenry doesn't, I don't think the majority thinks that way. Unfortunately, they are not the ones in Congress.
Right.
The
It's
ones
our leaders letting us down.
Our leaders have bought into this authoritarian mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to hear when we play Fact or Fiction later with Ron Johnson, you're going to hear, and it's not just Ron Johnson. We saw it with Pam Bondi. They speak with impunity, like they cannot be touched. How dare you question anything we do? And that is the mindset coming from the very top of the party all the way down to the elected officials, who believe they can do whatever they want. They're not looking forward to, and I'm not, you see all the memes and texts and things on social media about Nuremberg trials. I don't think we're ever going to get there, but there will be a reckoning at some point where your party's not going to be in power, and you're going to have to answer in future elections for what you've done during this time. And if you did not represent your constituency and only kowtowed to the king, then that is where the reckoning is going to come. People will be able to vote you out, hopefully. And because who knows? I was told we're not going to need elections anymore, Jamie.
Well,
so,
we don't love the Constitution, as we were just discussing,
why would we?
So who knows? Scott from Madison, listening on WMDX, chiming in this morning on the text line as well. He says the Democrats should challenge the Republicans to their stance and offer an amendment that we will fine any business owner $100,000 per undocumented employee.
Then we'd have to go into Texas and a lot of other red states. And that's not please. Now, Scott, that may make sense to us, but please, not going to happen.
Just in case anybody's wondering, because DHS isn't just all about ICE, right? It's not all about Border Patrol. Core operations like law enforcement, the border inspections, disaster response, Secret Service protection, and Coast Guard missions would continue if we get into this shutdown. The FAA, including air traffic control, also funded separately, so flights wouldn't be directly affected. You might have a longer line or two if you're going to travel going through TSA. I mean, what's a few extra minutes in TSA? They're always long lines. But all of those things will also continue. FEMA's disaster relief fund appears to be well funded for now. I mean, they're not giving out the grants anyway, so yes, I'm sure there's a bunch of money sitting there.
Yeah,
just ask Tony Evers how that's working out for Wisconsin. But IRS, in case you're wondering, with taxes, national parks also remain open.
You're still going to have to pay your taxes. We're going to talk more about ICE and specifically their role in Minnesota. After 7:30, we're going to talk to a Minneapolis grassroots organization about the pullback, what it means for that community. So that's coming up.
It's 6:19 right now. You're listening to Civic Media Mornings on the Civic Media Network.
Less noise, more nuance.
My doctor told me my blood pressure is borderline. I figured I could worry about it or do something about it. So I took control with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula. It works safely and naturally to help maintain healthy blood pressure with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. The Army National Guard has taught me the value of showing respect to those I come in contact with each day. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed and accomplish the mission. Plus, the Army National Guard education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation gets their
15 seconds until we're back.
Hey, we have the music back. Thanks so much.
I try so hard. I see the problem was I wasn't running fast enough in the wheel to keep the power going.
I understand.
That was it.
I gotcha.
Let's get moving.
It's 6:22 right now. You are listening to Civic Media Mornings on the Civic Media Network. I'm going to give a little shout out to Daniel over on our listening on YouTube. He says, "Hey everybody, happy Friday! Happy Friday to you as well."
Daniel, how are you, buddy?
My name is Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan, and I was just reading that again. I'm double checking. I had to look at my notes. Yes, I am in fact Brian Noonan.
You are.
I am for now. We'll see. Listen, we talk about data centers all the time. Why not? Because they're popping up everywhere. It seems like any town that has any extra land is getting talked about for data centers. We talked about the backroom deals that some towns have entered into, non-disclosure agreements with data companies. And now Wisconsin lawmakers on the Democratic side of the aisle are proposing a moratorium. Let's just pump the brakes a little bit on these data centers. There's a lot of local opposition. The people are not happy. So maybe we just let's slow our roll when it comes to data centers, which caution is always a good thing.
Right. No, and here's the thing. I support progress. I support innovation. I support, good paying jobs. But at the same time, the data center companies aren't always being upfront. There's a lot of communities that have already pushed back, like DeForest, Caledonia, and Yorkville. They wanted these centers stopped because of the rising utility bills associated with them and the effects of the land around them. So this proposed moratorium would actually block construction until a state planning authority is in place and clear rules are established. The legislation would require full reporting of energy and water usage, data center specific pollution rules, 100% renewable energy, fair wages for workers, and no state or local subsidies. It would also aim to protect residents from bearing any additional utility costs and ensure some public oversight on these projects. So what we're saying is that we're afraid of a little oversight by the Republicans? Is that what we're saying here?
I think that's what the Republicans are saying. They're also saying, listen, we're all about the economy. We want to bring money and jobs into the communities. Again, let's make up our minds. What can we do? We heard from different companies saying, yes, we're all about transparency. But then we also read reports of, like I said, non-disclosure agreements and a lot of things. And people just I think people understand the need for these data centers. I don't think it's a not in my backyard mentality. It's a you could put it in my backyard, but why should I be penalized and have to pay so much more in my utility bills? What is it going to mean for the long-term sustainability of this land when, granted, agriculture right now is in kind of a tough spot, but someday agriculture might be booming again, and that land can't be, the land and the adjacent land cannot be ruined for future things. So it doesn't make sense. Your question is valid. What are they, and it comes in a lot of the things we talk about, what are they worried about? What are they afraid of? What are you trying to stop?
Well, and I think, these are multi-billion-dollar tech companies that are bringing in these data centers. It should not be left fully to the responsibility of the communities to fund or pay extra for these particular data centers when it comes to the utility bill, the land usage, the list goes on, right? So these companies should have some sort of guardrails, I would think, and that's essentially what Democrats want. That's all they really want. They're not saying we don't like progress. They're not saying let's not bring them in. They're literally saying let's have some oversight on this. Now, they don't want these banned permanently. Let's be clear. That's not what Democrats are asking. They want to ensure that future development is responsible, transparent, and fair to these communities. Now, supporters of this particular bill, including Representative Francesca Hong, she has been very outspoken about data centers, also gubernatorial candidate. She says the proposal restores community power, it safeguards Wisconsin's natural resources, and holds corporations accountable for their environmental and their social impact. Is that where it gets tricky for Republicans? Holding the corporations and the people with lots of money accountable? Is that where they start losing a little sight of what's actually important at that point?
It may be because, corporations do not want to have to answer to anybody. Once they get their permits, or once they get on, it's, hey, we're building this. You should be grateful that we've chosen your community. Look at the jobs we've provided. Look at the economic growth. You don't question us. It's the way the government is acting now. Don't question us. Nobody has the right to question. I would love to hear from somebody who maybe is listening in one of these areas where a proposal has happened. When it came to you, how did you feel about it? And what did your community say? And what reasons did you give either for supporting or being against it? 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. We're talking to you all over the state, so there's a good chance you live in one of these areas that has been affected. Maybe not in the township itself, but in the surrounding area. And let's be honest, between the energy bills, traffic, and everything, you would be affected. So where do you fall on this? Is a moratorium a good thing just to slow things down a little bit?
Well, and literally put some plans in place to how these data centers can actually be housed in this state and not disrupt and affect people's livelihoods, their income, their communities. And I think for Democrats, it literally is about having that sort of transparency and accountability. For Republicans, this feels to me more like it's a bottom line issue rather than what's best for their communities and their constituents. I think they're literally trying to figure out a way to pump more money in. And let's be honest, we all like growth. Nobody's saying no to growth. Nobody's saying that, right? Democrats
I don't believe
that.
so. It doesn't say anywhere in there to, halt any sort of data center progress. But you wear what you want.
Well, yeah, 6:29 right now. You're listening to Civic Media Mornings, a game of fact and fiction coming up,
Yes,
right?
Ron Johnson edition. After this, I'm Brian Noonan. This is the Civic Media Network.
Frank, can I bring you on? Because your levels.
That's the question. Can you bring him on?
Can I bring him on?
It's Friday the 13th, folks.
Look,
I forgot all about that.
Oh, it is.
Yes, that explains our issues.
It is Friday the 13th.
No, it's Dom.
I blame Dom.
I do too.
I do blame Dom. I genuinely
Dom
do
is
blame
actually
Dom.
reading this or listening. Well, he's up.
He's
I
up.
mean,
He usually wakes up.
Who?
Yeah.
Who's Dom?
Whoomst.
That kid with the beanies, I think. Is that the one we're
that
talking about?
beanie kid.
Kid with the beanies.
How are my levels, Parker?
I'm gonna turn down Brian. Actually,
Do you want me
Son
to
of a
turn down
bitch.
since I have my
Then
own fader?
boost. Well, I needed to bring you up, so I turned down Brian to try to get you to be on the same
I
level-ish.
can go up.
Wow.
I'm always loudly obnoxious, so obnoxiously loud.
I guess so.
I am.
Maybe Parker can't figure this out.
Maybe we do need Dom.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Get Beanie back in here.
Get Beanie.
Get Beanie,
Beanie
back
boy.
in. Send
Beanie
Cecil
boy.
home.
Get out of A2. Come here.
Is he here? No, he's
No,
not here
he's
this
not
early.
today. No. He did the other day.
I know.
Yeah.
The other day I looked over and the lights were on. I was like,
Seriously?
oh yeah, he was
Wow.
here early.
Good
He
for
was
him.
doing he was getting a jump start on the best ofs.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yes.
Yes, yes.
So we're still
Nice.
taking Monday off. Is that correct? I don't want to tune in and hear you guys doing a show.
Yes. Yes. I will be putting that together today.
Well, it was a very nice rundown of what you're going to use.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
Were you guys good with it? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, since you cried long enough, we'll let you have the day off.
Yeah, I'm all about taking days off.
We'll allow it.
I'm all about not working. Man. There were very few times that I took days off. Like at GN, I never took a day off.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because I was always just an independent contractor. So it was like, well, I'm going to work. I'm not, giving up cash to even no matter what show I was on, I was just day to day. So for 15 years, I was day to day.
Actually sounds like a good gig.
Yeah,
I don't know where I'm going to be. That's fine.
Oh, God. Talk about stress. I'm surprised I don't have hives.
Hey, happy Friday live stream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Live stream gets to listen to all this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They sure do.
This is your behind the scenes.
This is your show within the show. Aren't
Yeah.
you riveted right now?
You get to hear, wow,
Thank
radio.
you.
Radio
Can you
must
believe it?
suck.
These people that talk just talk more? God.
Yeah. Don't they ever shut up?
Never ends.
Aren't they tired of
We
this?
have so much to say. You don't even know. These damn
Oh.
commercial breaks just get in the way.
Yeah, then our hour-long post show, and we
Right?
never shut up.
We
That's
never
why.
shut
That's
up,
why
no.
I have nothing to say to anybody else in my life. I finish work. I don't say. I got nothing. Nothing.
hard
You
to make
sit on your
words.
favorite chair,
Frank, you know it.
decompress.
Hey.
I've been reading this big
Hey.
book of king cake that I got for Christmas.
Oh,
so
I
that's,
saw that.
Love it.
Yes, so that's
Hey, I just saw
fascinating.
Christy Nome on TV.
I was going to
What-
say you're looking
What
at
was
the
she
page.
dressed as?
Oh, she's dressed as herself. Look at her,
Oh.
all buttoned up in a nice suit with a pink blouse underneath. She looks
Good
lovely.
for her.
Wow.
She's
So-
standing in front of a big pile of boxes of drugs that were seized or something. Because
Wow.
when you screw up so badly in Minnesota, that's where they delegate you to is a drug seizure on
You
the
go to the-
border.
You go to the warehouse, Christy. We're just gonna take some
She's
stills.
literally standing in a warehouse in front of boxes.
Of course.
Good
When
stuff.
will it all crumble? When will it all crumble?
Parker, do you still have the open?
It's
Oh, I
now
got it.
time for.
I was like, oh, are we starting?
Mrs.
Is that the
Funk.
cue?
We didn't get a cue.
Well done, sir. Way to hit the post.
Wow.
Like,
We
damn.
didn't get a cue.
That was on command.
Oh, yeah.
Start the
we
show.
We are starting in 20 seconds, though. I'll
Okay.
tell you that. Do you have a clock, Frank, in front of you?
Kind of. Yeah, I've
So
got
no.
you to hold up.
So no. Yeah. Okay. We'll be
You're-
live in, we'll be
you're
live
the
in 10
clock.
seconds. Here we go.
Oh God.
It's now time for a game of fact or fiction. Here's your host, producer Frank.
Yes, thank you. I am producer Frank. Welcome into Civic Media
Yay,
Mornings with
producer
Brian and
Frank.
Jamie. Yeah, thank you. Stop, please. The round of applause.
Producer
It's too much.
Frank.
I know.
We're so excited you're here.
I am too, because we're going to play another game of fact or fiction. This one, everyone, is going to revolve around Rojo, Ron Johnson's telephone town hall, which I was not aware was a thing until Jamie brought it up to me.
Oh, they're good entertainment, let me tell you.
It's my new favorite thing. So just a rundown for everybody who didn't hear the first time we played this. I'm going to play an audio clip of Ron Johnson from his telephone town hall the other day, and we are going to dive into whether what he said is a fact or if it's fiction. If you hear fact,
that's the fact, Jack.
And if it's fiction,
pure fiction.
All right. We ready to get started?
Can I just say that I'm excited that you all are getting as nerdy as I am by listening to Ron Johnson's town halls. I'm just saying.
There was a moment yesterday where I was like, man, where did I go in life to where I'm fully digesting an hour-long town hall?
I get it. You should always question your sanity in these moments. Yes,
I'm doing my duty.
Yes.
So let's get started
with let's play.
Clip number 1. I'm going to give you guys just a heads up. Usually I keep my audio clips tight, but some of these were too good that I had to just let them ride. So
okay, all right.
Let's start with the first one.
Prove that you're a citizen to register to vote. Most people don't want their legitimate vote canceled by a fraudulent vote. So something like 80% of the American population, regardless of political affiliation, agree and support voter ID.
Okay, so Ron Johnson says about 80% of Americans support voter ID. Is that fact or is it fiction?
That's fact. I believe it's fact.
All right, Jamie says fact. I know that there is a majority of people that support voter ID. Now, 80 seems high. So while I agree with it in principle, I am going to call fiction on the 80%.
That's the fact,
Oh, Jamie on the board.
It is a fact. Now, here's the interesting part. So a Pew Research Center survey found that about 83% of Americans favor requiring all voters to show a government-issued photo ID to vote, with 95% of Republicans and 71% of Democrats in agreement. Only 16% oppose it. Now, this gets interesting, though. The more barriers they put up and the more documents that are proposed to bring to the polls, such as like a birth certificate or a passport, which a lot of Americans don't have because that's another process that you have to go through and pay for, that number drastically declines. So yes, majority of Americans do agree in voter ID, but the more stuff you put onto it, that's where we disagree.
Because most Americans have a driver's license.
Right.
Correct.
And
not everybody.
And Real ID is becoming, if you're reapplying or getting a new license, then you have Real ID. Now it's interesting, and this is where it's going to get. I think the next few weeks, not the 2 weeks because they're going to gavel out, but at the same time, I think it's going to be interesting to watch the SAVE Act, because underlying in all of this with voting is that passed the House just this week. So that's going to be very fascinating to watch to see if the Senate actually passes it, has less restrictions, more restrictions, which will just make voting harder. But
Jamie, are you stalling because you have the lead now? Is that why we're going to go on?
I just want people to understand.
Listen, let's play the game.
I was just going to say back to Ron Johnson.
Let's play the game.
Back to Ron Johnson.
Back to Rojo, please.
Yes.
Let's come on.
All right, let's move on to number 2.
Democrats, by and large, want to make it easy to cheat. Things like automatic registration, mail-in balloting. The Baker-Carter Commission said that the greatest potential for fraud in the elections is absentee ballots. And yet during COVID, Democrats took advantage of that, doubled the number of absentee ballots. They continue to push them. They continue to push things like automatic registration, mail-in balloting, just send a ballot to everybody. And, that would be a highly insecure election.
Wow.
All right, this is a tough one, guys. Fact or fiction?
Fiction. I'm going to go out on a limb here.
It is a fact that this is 100% fiction. Fiction is the answer.
Pure fiction.
It is pure fiction.
That one is a draw.
A recent analysis found that fraud in mail-in voting is exceptionally rare. on the order of about 0.00043% of mail ballots cast, or roughly 4 cases per 10 million votes.
Wow. Oh.
Wow, that's a whopper right there.
With
That is-
so much ease, too. The words just come out of the mouth and oh my goodness. Okay.
I think that's
Ooh.
my favorite part of it is he was he's very much convinced. And Jamie, we talked about this a little bit earlier, that Ron Johnson's always been on the 2020 was a fraudulent election.
Oh, he's very much into the conspiracy realm of politics right
but
now.
his election was okay, right?
Yes, because he won. It was
Oh,
fine.
all right.
See, it only works in certain
obviously.
cases, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Are
Next
there any more
question.
good ones like that?
What do we
'Cause that
got?
one was
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Oh,
We've got-
yes.
Let's go.
Okay,
That
I'm
was
ready.
a
We
good
have
one.
Let's
3
go.
more.
That was
Okay,
almost
all
too
right.
easy.
All right.
All
let's
right.
go.
Let's move on to number 3.
Understand the enormous problem that ICE and CBP and the Trump administration is trying to clean up. I mean, millions of people flooding this country. Including those millions, we got this tally from DHS last year, 650,000 illegal immigrants convicted of some kind of crime, on the loose, not detained. 650,000, included in that number, 15,000 people convicted of homicide, 20,000 people convicted of rape.
A lot of numbers thrown out.
Wow. Okay.
And he dropped the R word.
He did.
He did.
He did. I'm
Jamie?
going to say that's fiction. I believe that's fiction.
I'm so competitive. I want to go the other way just in case, to try to tie the game. But it all sounds fabricated. I'm fiction as well.
Pure fiction.
Okay, so this one gets really complicated.
Okay.
I was just going to say, it
Surprise.
felt like there could be some truth mixed in with the fiction on this one.
Well, yeah.
The jury's kind of out on it.
Okay.
So the statistics that Johnson cited of 15,000 murderers and 20,000 rapists are unverified and likely cumulative numbers gathered over several years. DHS data does not show that many violent offenders are roaming freely. So when I did
love
the
that
research on
terminology.
this.
Sorry, Frank. Roaming
No.
freely like herds of buffalo.
Well, that's kind of what he said. And that's kind of where it's like hard to pinpoint something as a fact. There are so many numbers out there that differ for this statistic that there's really no comprehensible true fact. And remember from last time when we played Fact or Fiction, the percentage of ICE detainees that have been convicted of violent crimes are at no more than 7%, and 65% of detainees have no prior convictions of any crimes. And I know that's different from just the general number that Ron Johnson threw out.
Well, of course, you work in generalities.
Right.
Yeah, that's why numbers, I have a problem with.
Do you ever
numbers
get
in
the
general.
feeling that we should be arming ourselves and walking outside every single day when you listen to Republicans talk from like in some sort of like military fatigues and gears just so that we're protected from this hellscape that we live in?
Jamie, I was at the RNC on the floor the day Law and Order was the theme. Just the music and the video they ran at the beginning of the session made me afraid to walk the 2 blocks back to work because I was convinced that I was going to be either dragged into some cartel beatdown or there was going to be roaming herds of murderers and rapists. And I'm too pretty to be walking down the street worrying about that.
I understand that. I totally
course.
understand that. But I sometimes I feel like I should just, never leave my house again. Is this
the plan.
Is this the type of world that they live in and they think that we live in? Is that how they envision things? Because
Fear
that's
sells.
That's sad. That's sad. I almost
Fear
feel
sells.
sad for them. Anyway, back to Ron Johnson.
Frank, do we have a? I'm wondering
Are
if
there
there's
any
any that are
facts?
facts. Yes,
Of course.
All right,
well,
all
let's
right.
find
There
out.
might be.
There
I
might
can't
be.
tell
Let's
you
see.
yes or no just
Might be,
yet.
could
All
be,
right, let's see
sure.
what we
We've
got.
got 2 more. Let's see.
All right, let's do it.
First of all, the Obamacare subsidies didn't expire. The enhanced subsidies did. Of the supposedly 24 million people on the Obamacare exchanges, more than 22 million will still just get the subsidies just at the original Obamacare subsidy rates, which are very generous. Okay? They're for people at 400% of the poverty line or below. The only people where the subsidies actually expire are people above 400% of the poverty line.
If I ask you, okay, will you believe me? Is essentially what I felt like there. All right, I'm going to let you go first on this one, Brian. I got to mull this one over for a minute.
Yeah, I know they did extend the subsidies. I don't, again, when there's numbers involved, that's where things get sketchy for me. I think because just based on the ratio of fiction, I'm going to have to go fiction again.
This one's tough. I'm going to say, I'll go out on a limb. I'll say this one's fact.
Oh, all right. Jamie looking to take a big lead.
That's the fact,
Oh,
So
I'm very competitive. Sorry.
there were some numbers. There were some numbers thrown out, and I'm not going to lie. I really had to Google to understand healthcare at the age of 31. So the ACA's original subsidies do remain for people earning between 100% and 400% of the federal poverty line, but those with higher incomes do now pay full price.
Okay.
So the original Obamacare subsidies do stay in place. It's the extensions that expired. So he was telling the truth with that.
Well, Jamie, I cannot beat you because it's now 2-0 with one. Jamie has 2. I have 1, but we have one more question.
And we have a couple. Yeah, we have a couple minutes left.
More.
And
Let's go.
We have one. We have one
Okay.
left.
I
want
one.
to make sure we get to this one.
Okay.
Please.
All right. Let's do it.
I'm going to do something. The problem is Democrats are holding out for a clean extension of all of them, which would perpetuate probably about 6 million people that really aren't aren't really on the exchange. They just got sold policies without their knowledge. The unscrupulous broker got the commission. The insurance company got their premium, and it's probably about $30 billion of fraud per year, which we can't afford. So the solution here is recognizing
Do you have a plan?
Yeah, well, yeah. The solution is recognizing what a disaster Obamacare is, and the solution is consumerism.
Yikes.
So the proposed statement is that ACA broker fraud accounts for about $30 billion every year. Fact
I'm
or
gonna go
fiction?
with fiction. I'm
gonna
jumping
say
right
fiction. Fiction.
Pure fiction.
Pure fiction.
So again, this is another one of those statistics where there's like 20 differing numbers out there. So there's no official number to prove this. There have been estimates and a lot of far right-wing independent studies claiming that there are billions of dollars lost to ACA fraud. However, $30 billion cannot be contributed, especially just to brokers.
Just to brokers. And people getting policies without their knowledge. They
And
know, what am I paying for? I don't know. I have no idea where the money
And
is
it
going
is
every
also
month.
fiction. Ron Johnson, the Republicans, as of right now, do not have a plan. As the caller was a little
They
bit.
have a concept of a plan.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Frank,
it's
nicely
coming.
Consumerism.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
buy
so
as
much.
much as you can. Yes, thank you, Frank.
That was fun.
You're welcome.
Fact or
Look at how
fiction?
Look at how enlightened we are today on
fun.
those phone town halls. It's 6:48 right now. You're listening to Civic Media Mornings. I'm Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. Hey, Wisconsin has some places that could be the best places to live in the country. We'll talk about it on the Civic Media Network. Nicely done, Frank.
Oh, Ron
Thank you.
Johnson.
That's
Thank you so
fun.
much for that.
Jamie with the big win. 2 correct. Two ties.
Oh,
Jamie
I
got
think
2 correct.
I think whenever we're laughing about anything Ron Johnson says, we're all winners.
We're
in that
all
case.
winners here at Fact or Fiction on Civic Media Mornings.
Oh, soon to be Daybreak. If you'll
Anytime we
notice,
can-
I changed the name of the
Yes.
show on the rundowns I shared with
Yes.
you guys.
Is this a secret show? Little
This is a
spoiler to
secret
everybody
show.
on the
This is a
stream.
secret show. Little
There's a
live
secret
stream.
show.
You just learned something.
Changes coming to Civic Media Network. February 23rd. February 23rd. So there's a
pretty
lot
good.
of good stuff happening. So you definitely don't want to miss out on it. So for anybody listening on the live stream this morning.
Parker, that was a David Bowie song, by the way.
Yes, great song.
Okay. That one I knew. Frank.
I know. I just love pointing out cultural references to you.
I know you do, and I appreciate
Even
it.
if you
do,
know
'cause
them,
usually I
it's
don't
even
know.
more fun as the bit.
Yes.
Yes.
You're so
Commit to the bit.
Yes.
It's so funny, though, because you're all of 22 years old. So sometimes.
So I know so little.
No, well, no.
No, sometimes.
You don't know,
Yes.
No, you don't know the older stuff, which I wouldn't expect you to.
No,
Why
I
would you
wouldn't
know stuff from.
To be fair, I also don't know a lot of the current stuff.
No,
Because you're an old soul, and that's not a bad thing.
See?
No.
But I don't know the old stuff either. I'm very
Parker,
narrow.
Do me a
Narrow.
favor. Look around the building when you're in there sneaking around. See if you can find a mic flag, a Civic Media mic flag.
I can make one out of cardboard. I think that might be our best bet.
That's what our budget is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I just figured there might be a box of them somewhere from when we had people going out
I
reporting
can get
on
you
things.
some new markers, but don't expect the name brand.
Oh, no, dollar store markers? You get 3 letters out of them and then they dry up? Oh, no. That's like when people would bring highlighters into school. And, oh, here we got your highlighters. These haven't worked since the Carter administration. There's nothing
No.
in here. This is just awful.
My mom used to have a pen drawer, and so like once a year she'd go through the pen drawer, and then we'd have to determine what pens actually worked out of her pen drawer. I was like,
All the
seriously?
caps are left off,
No,
so they're all dried out. I think
They're
every
always
mom has
clicked
that
on.
drawer.
Yeah, I was like, what
I
are
mean,
we doing?
have those
I do
drawers,
not
but
have one of those.
I'm like, wait,
My mom
if the
does.
pen doesn't work, why didn't you just throw it out? Why did you put it back in the,
You know, I was doing
Emotional
this the other day.
support.
I was trying to take notes at my desk, and I literally did that. That one doesn't work. I'll put it back in the drawer. I did that 4 times.
You had 4
don't do
pens
that.
that didn't work, or with the same pen?
That
Oh,
didn't
my
work.
God.
4 different pens. I've been doing this for years.
Because
We
your
all
mom
do.
taught you.
Yeah.
We
Your
all do.
mom
We just
taught you
put
with
it
her
back
pen
in.
drawer.
Put it back in.
All right, we'll be back in 20 seconds.
All right. Boy, if I was listening on the stream, I would be ecstatic today. They're getting all kind of stuff. That's bonus radio. It's free.
$6:52 right now. Thank you so much for listening to Civic Media Mornings on the Civic Media Network. If you're in Appleton or Oshkosh, listening on WISS, or in Richland Center, listening on WRCE, we are so glad that you decided to join us. And boy, oh boy, if you've been listening on live stream, thank
Yeah.
you for
This is the
letting us
day.
have our moment in time.
This is the day. I'm Brian Noonan. Hey, it's Friday the 13th. So,
It is.
watch out for black cats and broken mirrors and ladders.
Are you
and-
superstitious?
No.
Okay.
And I should
No,
be
neither am I.
because the Irish culture is very superstitious. My
Mm-hmm.
dad was crazy superstitious. Like if and I think of him every time I forget something and come back in the house, because I'll just come back in and get it and leave.
Sure.
He would come back in the house. He'd have to sit down, count to 10, then he'd grab what he forgot and he would walk out.
Wow.
The only superstition I adhere to, and I don't know why, because I only know about it from the movie Drugstore Cowboy, I don't put a hat on the bed. I don't put
Gotcha.
hats on the bed.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
only. That's the only thing.
I'm not superstitious about anything. I mean, walk under a ladder, black cats, whatever. It's fine. I have enough bad luck without having to have it delegated to just one day, and so it doesn't matter.
Every time I look in the mirror, I want to break it. So I'm
Right,
not. That's just,
exactly.
it's not
Yeah.
superstition. It's vanity. I have that.
Exactly.
But maybe if I lived in a place, Jamie, that was a little more idyllic, I would not worry about anything.
This is true.
Perhaps if
Maybe.
I was in a town that U.S. News and World Report voted as one of the best places to live in America. And wouldn't it be fun if I didn't have to travel very far to get to one of those places?
Ooh, very
Yes.
nice segue.
14 Wisconsin cities made the list of 250, and it is very, very excited, Jamie. This is on our network.
It is.
Congratulations. The best place to live, according to U.S. News and World
It
Report.
is, absolutely. And before we reveal it, because I feel like
Yes.
there has to be some sort of buildup, they do measure some factors like affordable housing, local economy, schools, healthcare, air quality, and the risk of extreme weather. So the top Wisconsin city to make this list is Eau Claire. Eau
Wow.
Claire, Wisconsin came in number 49 out of the 250 best cities.
Congrats.
But what's awesome about this list is out of these 250, there were 13 other Wisconsin cities to make the list, which is
Friday
incredible.
the 13th symmetry. Catch it.
Right? Exactly. So Eau Claire, if you're listening on 93.5 The Tap this morning, congrats to you.
Yeah.
Appleton came in 53rd on the list, listening on WISS this morning. Waukesha also made the list. Oshkosh shouting out WISS again. Wausau shouting out our station WXCO. Green Bay, Sheboygan, Janesville, Kenosha, La Crosse, WLCX, Madison, WMDX, Fond du Lac, Racine, and Milwaukee, WAUK. Those are the cities.
Are you seeing a correlation between places that have access to this program and being voted one of the best places to live in the United States of America?
You're thinking. He is a smart guy.
Listen, if we're not marketing that, we make you the best place to live.
We do. We make you smarter. We make you wiser. We teach you things, and that correlates to being one of the best cities.
Yes. So what makes listen, I've been to Eau Claire. It's a very beautiful town. It's a great city. The UW campus up there, very nice. But what did U.S. News and World Report say made Eau Claire the place?
So part of the reason that they became 49 on this list is because their low cost of living. The median home value is around $261,000, while the national average is around $370,000. They have a very strong job market with unemployment right around 3.6%, which is below the national average.
Cool.
They have an average commute of just over 13 minutes, where on average it's right around 20 minutes. And the population of around 72,000 is made up of about 23% of people under the age of 20, which would be mostly because of the university.
Yeah.
But some nice features if you're looking to, settle down somewhere in the state of Wisconsin. Now, I will say, too, around Eau Claire, they have some beautiful state parks, Lake Wissota State Park. They've got Brunette Island State Park, which is a super awesome place. So much theater, a lot of really great food. There's some really cool shopping that you can do in Eau Claire. And then there's also some really great wineries around there, too. I would know this.
Now we're talking.
we're
talking. Yeah, so Milwaukee was the lowest on the list. But they as far as Wisconsin, they weren't 250th. They were just the lowest of Wisconsin. And, Milwaukee, much bigger city. Their average home value there, or the median home value, which I found interesting because it was lower than Eau Claire.
Yes.
At 197,000.
Yeah. Which is for a metro area, right? Too, you always expect prices to be a little bit higher. Maybe it's a quantity thing. Maybe there's more houses for sale. I'm not sure. They also have a young population. About 28% is under the age of 20, and just over 26% of residents are married. My 22-year-old lives in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
He's been there for 3 years now. Absolutely. Unless he moves to Ohio to be with the girlfriend, I know. He absolutely loves Milwaukee. I don't actually see anything pulling him except the girl for quite some time because he really, really loves Milwaukee.
Milwaukee's great. There's a lot going on there.
Lot to do.
And that's how you can pull, unless you're a university town like Eau Claire.
Yeah.
And there's stuff to do there if you're outdoors and things like that. But if you're a young person who's looking for a metro area, you want a place that has not only culture and access to sports teams and festivals and all of that. There's a lot going on there.
There is. Now, in case you're wondering, here are some of the cities that made the top 10. Troy, Michigan is on that list. Leander, Texas. You got League City, Texas making the top 10. Cary, North Carolina is on here. Fishers, Indiana, interestingly enough. Another Texas city, Pearland. You've also got Carmel, Indiana, and the number one city, according to U.S. News and World Report, based on all of their parameters and factors, Johns Creek, Georgia. That is the number one city. I think I'll stick to Wisconsin. I'm good here.
I'm going to pass on Georgia. No offense.
That's right. Georgia's beautiful, too. I like
sure
Wisconsin.
It is. Yeah.
6:59 right now. You're listening to Civic Media Mornings. My name is Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. And when we come back, we'll be talking about the Water Pollution Notification Act. Because shocking, you may have nasty water. It's the Civic Media Network.
Good catch, Brian.
Gotcha.
I did it yesterday. I caught
You
myself.
did,
I did.
yeah.
I did. Old habits die hard.
Well, we're jumping the gun. I mean, we're doing it early.
Right.
So that's,
We are.
we
are.
We're doing it early.
Hey, Peter. How are
Hi,
you?
Peter.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm doing
Good
all right.
morning.
How are you?
We're great.
Well.
For a Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday.
Especially for Friday, yeah. So this is very interesting. I have a lot of questions.
Great. I hope I have some answers.
Can we, if we have time, can we talk a little bit about the rollback of the EPA yesterday too, and the Trump administration saying no, we're not going to regulate greenhouse gases anymore. It's fine. We'll obviously focus on the bill, but if there's a little time, would you mind talking about what impact that would have? Because I thought that was timely.
I'm happy to. You know, that's really more one of my coworkers' realms, but I'm happy to kind of share top reactions to it.
If we get there, we'll keep it generic.
Sounds good. Yeah,
Is
pretty
it-
horrifying.
Yeah. Is it Burris or Buress? Or I want to make sure I'm pronouncing the last name correctly.
Burris. Yep.
Burris. Okay. I figured, but I always like to ask.
And Peter, just so you know, I'll put up hand signals for how many minutes we got left. I'll start with 3 and go down to 1. You'll start to hear music at about 30 seconds left, just so you know.
Sounds good.
We've got about 5 minutes. Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Creates the biennial budget.
We're trying to get rid of that 400-year veto and allow us as a legislature to make those decisions each and every 2 years on how either we raise taxes, eliminate taxes, or fund schools, etc.
Wednesday, a bill was introduced in the state Senate that would provide married joint tax filers with a $1,000 income tax rebate and provide all other filers with a $500 income tax rebate. I'm Bob Nelson for Civic Media News.
The income tax rebate would be based on income tax bills for tax year 2024. The Wisconsin DNR is predicting a banner year for sturgeon spearers because the Lake Winnebago system has the clearest water for ice fishing in over 10 years. Water clarity is important as it helps spearers see the fish swimming deeper in the water. The sturgeon spearing season sees anglers from all over the country setting up shanties on the Lake Winnebago system in northeast Wisconsin, all in an effort to spear one of those prehistoric fish. Water clarity is between 13.8 feet and 19 feet below the surface just 1 week before the season opens. For comparison, visibility was just 5.4 feet last year. Sturgeon spearing season starts Saturday and will last until March 1st or until the caps are met, whichever comes first. For Civic Media News, I'm Lisa Hale. For news anytime, visit our website at civicmedia.us.
Another challenge for the Badgers. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Men's college basketball tonight. The Wisconsin Badgers host Michigan State at the Kohl Center in Madison. The Spartans ranked 10th in the nation. That doesn't seem to faze Wisconsin, who beat number 8th ranked Illinois on the road in overtime Wednesday. Nick Boyd transferred to the Badgers last spring. Head coach Greg Gard and why Boyd has been such a great addition.
He's a winner. And he's won everywhere he's been, and that's why he wanted to come to Wisconsin, because Coach, I've been to a Final Four, and I want to get to more.
In Green Bay, the UWGB Phoenix beat Purdue Fort Wayne 76-49 at the Crest Center. The Phoenix now 15-12 and 10-6 in the conference. A big turnaround from this time a year ago. Head coach Doug Gottlieb.
Last year, February 13th, we lost our 21st consecutive game.
NBA, the Bucks beat the Thunder 110-93. The Bucks have won 5 of their last 6 heading into the All-Star break this weekend. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
This report brought to you by Serenity Pet Spa, providing a sanctuary for dogs to be bathed, groomed, and pampered while enjoying free play with other dogs. SerenityPetSpaMadison.com.
We are headed into a really nice weekend. Today will be mostly sunny. We'll get to the upper 40s to low 50s here this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy. We'll drop to 26 for a low tomorrow. More sunshine with a high of 52. And those 50s are going to continue through the weekend. We could get close to 60 by Monday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 24.
I'm Rick Smith, host of The Rick Smith Show. If you're looking for honest talk, real stories, and straight-up news that matters to you, tune in to The Rick Smith Show. We're digging into the issues that affect your job, your family, your future. Join me weeknights at 9 on the Civic Media Radio Network, because your voice deserves to be heard. That's The Rick Smith Show, heard weeknights at 9 right here on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Pete Schwaba.
Dumb and Dumber. You and some of the
I was
listeners
going to go back to that, actually.
recommended that I watch last night. I finally did.
The first time I saw it, it was very jaded. 5 years later, I'm like, why wasn't I, like, I laughed at it, but it was on the list of one of my favorite comedies ever, you know?
It's stupid, and that's okay.
Stupid, but to write stupid properly, you have to be clever. You can't,
true.
you
It's
know,
true.
stupid can't write stupid. It takes a clever person to write something stupid.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. Weeknights from 5 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
We'll be back in about 20 seconds here.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us on the Civic Media Network. This is Civic Media Mornings. Happy Friday. My name is Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. You can always get involved in the program, 855-75-CIVIC. That's 855-752-4842. This is a shocking statistic, but about a third of Wisconsinites who rely on private wells for their water are rarely notified about nearby contamination. That is, again, alarming. So there is a new bill that is going through the Congress, or the legislature rather, that will require DNR to notify local health officials. To tell us about that is Peter Burris, Government Affairs Manager for Wisconsin Conservation Voters. You can go to conservationvoters.org to get more of the information. Peter, welcome. We're glad you're here. How is this even possible that people who use wells are not being notified of contamination? It doesn't seem plausible.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brian. Thanks for having me, Jamie. It's great to be here. It is really unfortunate that this is just kind of the lay of the land here in Wisconsin. You know, for the folks that receive their water from public drinking water systems, they receive consumer confidence reports every once a year or twice a year, depending on the size of the municipality. But yeah, for those 1/3 of Wisconsinites who rely on private wells, that's their property, and there's not a good notification system in place for those folks. So, and I would say, you know, just generally taking a step back, our legislature has in the past decade made some good steps to supporting public water infrastructure, but has really left private well owners behind. So an example of that, just this past summer in the budget, we increased financing for our storm, our wastewater, and our drinking water infrastructure by $732 million, which is great. Really helps, will help tackle PFAS, lead, nitrate-related challenges. But again, yeah, for those 1/3 of Wisconsinites who rely on private wells, they've been left on their own, and we need to be doing more for them.
So with AB 635 and SB 628, and by the way, conservationvoters.org has an incredible bill tracker over there. If you want to see how your representatives are voting, what bills are passing through Senates and committees, it's a fabulous resource for anybody who's interested in these things. But what would these bills for wells, what would these essentially propose? What is the proposal, and what would they actually do for homeowners?
Yeah, it's a super straightforward bill. It's a one-page bill. And based on the principle, I think something that we all agree on, right? Knowledge is power. Everyone has a right to know what's in their drinking water. So the bill would just require DNR to notify county health departments, county land and water conservation departments, and tribal health departments when they've identified groundwater contamination. So that's any exceedance of a groundwater standard or a PFAS standard. Our thinking there then is that, you know, that means local health officials will have the tools they need to be able to better support folks in their own communities.
If this were to pass, how long does it take to put those measures into place? Because, like you said, 1/3 of Wisconsinites use these private wells. That's a lot of people, a lot of wells. What's the timetable for this?
Yeah, the timetable built into the bill for just kind of getting this notification system up and running is 7 months.
That seems pretty fast for
It just seems pretty fast. Yeah.
government-related projects. I was like, oh, all right, well, that's nice. I was expecting, well, 3 years.
Well, and the good news is that a lot of this information is already available, right? DNR does a great job of tracking a lot of water quality data on different trackers, PFAS Interactive Data Viewer, for example. The challenge is that if you're a busy parent, you got to get your kids to school on a Monday morning, you're not logging on to look at the PFAS Interactive Data Viewer. And then you're not logging on to the lead tracker. We need a better automated notification process.
We're talking with Peter Burris. He's the Government Affairs Manager for Wisconsin Conservation Voters. That is conservationvoters.org if you want to check it out. Where do these bills stand right now, right? As they're moving through the legislature, where are we currently at as far as their movement?
Yeah, there's some good news and some bad news here. So to my knowledge, this is one of the most popular pieces of legislation introduced so far this session. There are 69 legislators co-sponsoring the bill. That's more than half of the Assembly and Senate. That includes both Republican and Democratic authors and co-sponsors, and lots of stakeholders. So we sent a letter from 60 stakeholders, a letter of support last November. Other key groups have registered in support of the bill: Counties Association, the Wisconsin Association of Local Health Departments and Boards, the Wisconsin Public Health Association. There are no groups opposed or registered against the bill. But it stalled out. It received a public hearing in the Assembly and the Senate and has not moved from there. So the rumor we've heard, and we're still trying to verify, but the rumor we've heard is that Speaker Voss doesn't want to advance a bill with bipartisan authors. And that's the kind of gross politics that Wisconsinites are fed up with. Mm-hmm. It's the thing we're trying to get past. And so I think the question before us now is, will the Republican legislators who put their name on this bill, who also believe that it's really important to get done, will they stand up to their leadership? Will they deliver for Wisconsinites, or will they let the bill die?
Well, Peter, we ask this all the time when we hear things like this, and you said, this is the rumor, but a lot of times rumors have at least a kernel of truth to them. What can people do even if you're not one of the 1/3 of Wisconsinites that rely on private wells? You have to worry about the cleanliness and the reporting of drinking water for everybody. What can we do?
Yeah, the biggest thing you can do is to call or email your legislators. So conservationvoters.org/water. You can take direct action there. There's a link for sharing your support for the Water Pollution Notification Act. You can also call your legislator directly, share your support, and say, Representative, will you speak to Speaker Voss and ask him to give this bill a vote? We are in a different lay of the land with our legislature than we were 2 years ago, right? We are competitive maps, even splits. It's a toss-up in November who's going to win control of both the Senate and the Assembly and the governor's office, right? And so we believe very strongly that folks, representatives, senators need to deliver if they want to be reelected. And so I think we need to make that clear. We have 1 week until the Assembly wraps up their work for the session, which is wild, right? Like an 8-month vacation is kind of insane.
Yes. Sounds all right.
But that's where we are. So we have 1 week to get this done, and so it's really pressure's on folks. It is really, really helpful. Everything I hear as a lobbyist is that it doesn't take much to elevate something in the state legislature as a priority, because the reality is folks are just not contacting Assembly reps and state senators as much as folks in Congress. So those calls, those emails really do help.
Is it about community engagement as a lobbyist? Can you speak to that a little bit? I mean, does it help when people are calling and when Wisconsinites basically tell the legislature that they're worried about shaping their environmental policies, that they're also worried about these things? Does that help the cause at all? So that people, because I think sometimes, right, you feel like you're just talking into a void. So does it actually help from your standpoint when people are doing these things?
Yeah, we all need to remember that we all care about these things. And when we take collective action, it's not just our voice, it's all of our voices. So we've been doing a lot of work around this bill. We have sent nearly 900 emails to all 99 assembly districts. We've knocked more than 1,000 doors with water testing kits. We've made 2,000 calls into priority districts. We've surveyed 2,300 Wisconsinites. We're running digital ads across 17 districts. But we need everybody. That's, we're doing this because we've heard demand for this policy. and because it's what we need to get this across the finish line. So I'm envisioning getting this across the finish line and all being able to collectively celebrate together. We're not going to get to that point unless we do all take responsibility and do the work and push our legislators to do the right thing.
Peter Burris is our guest. He's the Government Affairs Manager for Wisconsin Conservation Voters. Conservationvoters.org is the website. We're talking about the Water Pollution Notification Act. Peter, it would seem that any bill regarding conservation should be an easy sell. But as a lobbyist, as you come into these and deal with legislators and stuff, is that the case, or is there still hesitation? Not so much with this bill, because you said this one has bipartisan support and authorship, but is there still a wall for some conservation efforts that just would seem hard to understand to regular folks?
Yeah, I think there are kind of two key challenges. One is, as it relates to this bill, is prioritization, right? So oftentimes it's just a matter of how do you elevate a bill to level of priority and compete with some of the politicking and cut through all the noise. Quite frankly, the other obstacle that really comes down on a lot of our more preventative accountability related work, the challenge is polluters, big business, special interest groups who spend a lot of time and money in the Capitol. Quite frankly, they are outworking all of us. And so that's what we're seeing right now, for example, with Assembly Bill 131, the PFAS bill that Governor Evers and DNR and Republican legislators have done incredible work trying to find compromise. We opposed that bill as it was introduced at the start of the session. We support the substitute amendment that Governor Evers has developed with Republican legislators. They did a really good job finding common ground and addressing major concerns. It's not the exact bill we wanted, but compromise, right?
Sure.
But here we are still, the bill has not moved forward because big business special interest groups in the Capitol are doing all they can to stop it from moving forward. And so again, it's a question of, will Republican legislators stand up to those big business special interests and put impacted Wisconsin families first, or will they let it die?
I want to look at something that happened yesterday really quickly because we only have a couple more minutes. If you weren't following along yesterday, the Trump administration has finalized a repeal of the EPA's 2009 endangerment finding. It's been the legal backbone for basically regulating climate pollution. And I know we talked a little bit off the air. This is not necessarily your area of expertise, but as a representative of conservation voters, how should we feel about this? What does this essentially do for not only Wisconsin, but looking at the rest of the country as well?
Yeah, I think this just underscores more than ever what we need to do here in state to offset the potential negative impacts. And heading into a big election year, I think this should be on our minds. So this decision is really the Trump administration putting corporate polluter profits before the health of Wisconsin families. So the EPA endangerment finding from 2009, as you said, Jamie, concluded that greenhouse gases like carbon pollution and methane endanger public health. So this was the finding that we used to produce fuel-efficient cars and curb toxic greenhouse gases, and really central to our efforts to tackle climate change. So think preventing insect vector-borne diseases, making our air safer to breathe, limiting flooding in our communities, limiting dangerous heat waves. So rescinding this endangerment finding is going to make our families more sick. It's going to put good jobs at risk, and it's going to raise our energy costs. So I think it's one of many, many scary things happening at the federal level. And again, just really underscores what we have to do here in Wisconsin to protect our communities.
Well, if anybody wants to get more information, go to conservationvoters.org. And as Peter said, contact your assembly people, contact your representatives. We do have a voice, so use it, especially if you want to turn on your faucet and know that you're getting clean drinking water, which should be, in this day and age, should be a no-brainer. But
there shouldn't be a debate about this. This should just be something that happens in this country, in this state. Why are these things so hard?
Well, thanks. Peter Burris, again, the Government Affairs Manager for Wisconsin Conservation Voters, conservationvoters.org. Peter, have a great weekend. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Peter.
Thank you both.
It's 7:19 right now. You're listening to Civic Media Mornings. Coming up, AI toys. Are they endangering your kids? We're going to talk about that. My name is Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. This is the Civic Media Network.
All right, we're clear.
Awesome. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Peter. That was great.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a
really
good rest
appreciate
of
you
the
having
day.
me. Take care.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Bye-bye.
People are enjoying our show behind the show.
Are they?
A few comments, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Well, that's why I listen to the live stream. Yes, thank you, Alicia. We do our best to entertain.
Nonstop.
It might be all glib and gibberish, but we do our best to entertain.
Wow. Which one are you?
Whichever one you'd like me to be. I think we could change from day to day. I guess
think so.
it just
I think
depends.
from segment to segment.
That's right. It's all right. We don't have to claim ownership of certain things.
No. Pardon me.
Oh, that was a great conversation.
Yes. It's good to hear that there's not too much standing in the way of.
Oh, no.
People
No.
are not-
I still can't get over the fact that they are going to basically gavel out next week. Seriously.
That's wild to me that that's allowed. Like, it seems like government should be
But see,
required to
by
govern.
holding the meetings this early in the year, they basically they meet all of the requirements set up by the legislative board. So then
So are they only
can
getting
just,
paid for a month?
No.
Oh.
That's not how that works. It's a full-time job, right?
Is it?
Think of all of
If
the
I was
things
done
that
in February, it got, yeah.
Right. Think of all of the things that they're leaving on the table, like the bills that we were just possibly. I mean, we were just talking about the bill with Peter. That could be left on the table. I mean, think of all the things that they might potentially leave on the table by not being involved in and doing their jobs from basically February-ish, March-ish through the rest of the year. I think that's bonkers. I think that's wild.
Yeah, I
don't know, man. 15 seconds.
Right now, we hope you are having a great morning. It's going to be a beautiful weekend in some parts of Wisconsin. We are looking at highs close to 50. I think that's shorts weather for a lot of people. I mean, 20s in Wisconsin. 20s in Wisconsin is shorts weather, let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm thinking, maybe I don't have to wear all the heavy gear. I could just wear regular gear.
I could lose a layer over the next couple of days. I'm sure I'll have to pick it back up again, though, at some point.
Are you comfortable letting your kids play with AI toys? 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. I had never heard of this contraption. Miko, that's a company name and a toy name. It's a small AI-powered robot that is supposedly designed for children, and on the website it describes it as designed to spark creativity and learning while keeping your child's safety and privacy at the center of everything. No hidden data practices, no unsafe conversations, no surprises, just kid-safe AI your family can trust. End quote. Fast forward to Senator Marsha Blackburn and Richard Blumenthal. This is party or bipartisan because Marsha Blackburn's a Republican, Richard Blumenthal is a Democrat. They say that Miko exposed thousands of children's conversations and has a database that is publicly accessible that may, in fact, Jamie, have names, personal details, the responses of children. That sounds not sinister at all.
If you are a company who in your description of a toy has to say that many times, safety, privacy, data practices, unsafe, no surprises, trust, if you have to put those words in your description that many times, I am going to be skeptical of you and what your product potentially is.
You doth protest too much, my friends.
So I think this is fascinating though, because remember when Tinker Toys and Lincoln Logs were a thing? They were so simple. And
But I also remember when Furbies came out and there was a big
I hated
uproar over. I
Furbies.
hated Furbies too, but they came out and it was
Yes.
supposedly that Furbies could somehow pay attention and
could,
come to
but-
life like gremlins.
we have also progressed in our technology even since Furby, right?
Of course.
And remember Teddy Ruxpin where you put the cassette in? And
yes.
I thought Teddy Ruxpin was the most incredibly creepy thing because his eyes moved side to side. I was not, as a child, a Teddy Ruxpin fan in any way, shape, or form. I
No.
found him to be creepy. At any rate, this is interesting because the exposed files from this MECO database, according to Senate staffers, actually date back to December of 2025.
That's not
And
that
they were
long ago.
organized by language and dialect. So
Oh.
children's voice recordings didn't appear to be included, but the toys' replies alone could allow someone to piece together those conversations. Now, Blackburn and Blumenthal are saying that it's a basic cybersecurity lapse. They even questioned whether the company adequately protected children's privacy. Now, of course, MECO CEO denied any sort of breach. Well, what's
Nothing
he
to
going
see
say?
here.
What is this human being going to say?
Got me.
He says that no children's voices or personal information were publicly accessible and no customer data was actually compromised. However, Senate staff says that they found that the exposure using free publicly available tools to analyze the toys' web communications.
Uh-oh.
And by late Wednesday of this week, the entire database was no longer publicly accessible. Nothing says you have something to hide like taking it all down.
Oh, you weren't supposed to see this. Did I say that
No.
part out loud? No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think this is fascinating because AI is one of those things that actually terrifies me. I am not, I said it earlier in this program, I'm not afraid of innovation. I'm not afraid of growth.
But it sounds
AI
like you
actually
are.
terrors me. AI terrifies me. It really, truly does because we don't know, we don't have any parameters on AI.
No.
There are no rules. This is like the wild, wild west when it comes to technology.
I saw the Terminator, Jamie. Skynet will become self-actualized. and our robot overlords.
There are a lot of people who want this technology not for good, right? And that's what I
Like
think
any
scares
technology.
Me. I think it's terrifying, especially when we have no rules and regulation on what AI is capable of right now. And no, that's just it too. We don't actually know its capabilities fully quite yet, especially as we continue to advance and to develop it.
Well, that's the big question, right? Is AI going to be a tool that we use to make things easier and make things more efficient? Or are we going to succumb to AI? And you can already see people, if you've read letters or emails, you can tell when something is AI. And if you just if you give over to AI, that's when the dynamic changes. That's when it's not a tool, it's a crutch, and a crutch then becomes your main source of support. We have to figure out that line where, yes, it's good. It can be great.
Yeah, sure.
But like you said, any new technology can be turned to evil quickly.
Think about the fact that Elon Musk is now basically playing in the field of AI. Is that the type of person you really want running your AI? Right? Think of what he could do with that chainsaw if it's AI powered. But I mean, that's what scares me. Is there are human beings like that in this world who are taking this technology and they're already incredibly brilliant people, and what are they going to end up doing with it? And then when we look at this, I mean, these lawmakers, Blumenthal and Blackburn, actually had to send out letters to other AI companies that make AI toys, saying, we have concerns about this. We have concerns about your toys. We have concerns about your children's safety. And I don't know. This is why I kind of wish I was back in the days of Lincoln Logs and Tinker Toys, especially when adults are one thing. I don't feel safe as an adult. I definitely don't feel safe putting AI in the hands of children.
No, it is worrisome, and I'd urge every parent, just do your due diligence before you buy your kid the latest and greatest alleged thing. And good
We're sure
luck.
past the
Good
days
luck.
of Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh my God, I got it. We had one of those in the house. It did not frighten me, but a lot of things do. We're going to talk about the updates from Minnesota on the other side of the news on Civic Media Mornings. I'm Brian Noonan.
I'm Jamie Martinson. It's 7:29. Thank you so much for joining us.
Report brought to you by Downtrends Distillery, making fun
All
flavored
right.
spirits with local
All
brews.
right.
Attend a tasting
All right.
today
Okay,
at Downtrends
very good.
Robotics are already common.
Watching this commercial, and it's this lady with a cat for cat food.
Okay.
And this cat looks like it just wants to claw her face off and escape. That's what it looks like. It does
do
not
not
want
trust
any part
cats.
of her.
Has it had its food yet? That's the question.
It looks like it wants to kill her.
Well, don't all cats?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Cats want to take over the world, and they're so much smarter than dogs. I'm certain of it.
This is true.
Good morning, Tim. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
We are
Good.
fantastic.
Good.
Awesome. I've been listening this morning, so I knew what I was getting into. Love the fact or fiction.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you to our senior producer, Frank, for putting that together.
We try to lead with the facts, and then
Have a little.
that way
have
we
a little
can that way we
commentary
can
on the
throw
way.
our opinions in.
I was amazed that there were that many facts made. That was interesting.
Yeah, I
Well-
was too.
I was pretty sure at one point I was like, aren't they all just going to be fiction? They might all just be fiction. I'm just going to.
Frank throwing a curveball to us, but yes,
He
it could all
is.
be friction. His fiction causes friction.
Keeping us on our toes. Tim, how do I want to make sure we're pronouncing your last name correctly?
Wegener.
Wegener. Okay.
Yeah, that hard German E.
Well, and I know some people lose it and just do Wagner, and so I was like, I want to make sure we're getting that correct.
Thank you.
We've got about 3 minutes here, so got some time.
Efficient operation, because there's no such thing as a snow day. Take time this winter and consider BioVet, your trusted partner in helping you raise stronger, healthier animals and to protect your bottom line. The knowledge and support from our team can help you make the difference in keeping your livestock healthy. Call 1-800-BioVet1 or visit bio-vet.com.
Innovation. That's BioVet. It's been over a decade since Wisconsin's last heifer raising cost survey. The UW-Madison Division of Extension is looking to modernize those benchmarks to help dairy businesses manage more effectively. Find the survey link on the front page at MidwestFarmReport.com. While you're there, check out the work Wisconsin cheesemakers were doing at the state capitol, asking the legislature to supplement food share to avoid federal penalties. It's estimated that 8 to 10% of all food share dollars are spent on dairy products. That's what's happening on a Friday from the Rural Mutual Insurance Farm News Desk, Wisconsin only and Wisconsin strong. Find your local insurance agent at ruralmutual.com. This is the Midwest Farm Report. I'm Stephanie Hoff.
This report brought to you by Sugar River Pizza, your catering expert. Host your party in their gorgeous Sun Prairie location or a venue of your choice. SugarRiverPizza.com.
We are headed into a really nice weekend. Today will be mostly sunny. We'll get to the upper 40s to low 50s here this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy. We'll drop to 26 for a low tomorrow. More sunshine with a high of 52. And those 50s are going to continue through the weekend. We could get close to 60 by Monday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 24.
Oh, this is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio. On our show, we share stories from Turtle Island, highlighting the people and issues shaping our communities. From protecting water to treaty rights and preserving languages and traditions, we cover it all. Hear voices like Arvina Martin of Emerge Wisconsin, Dr. Stately, Robert Lilligren, and more. Because Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Native Roots Radio, weeknights at 8 on your local Civic Media radio station.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life.
Got about 30 seconds here. Tim, just so you know, I will put up hand signals for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute left. And when you hear music at the end, that means we got about 30 seconds left, so we got to wrap it up.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you. 15 seconds here.
Right now, we hope that you are having a great morning listening to Civic Media Mornings on the Civic Media Network. If you're in Wisconsin Rapids, listening on WFHR, or in Richland Center on WRCE, thank you so much for having us on. I am Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. Good morning. As you know, last week, Borders Czar Tom Homan announced that first they were pulling back 700 ICE agents out of Minneapolis. Then it came out the other day that the Trump administration is ending the crackdown. Supposedly everything is fixed in Minneapolis, so they're getting everybody out of there. The operation has been called the largest immigration enforcement operation ever, according to DHS, and we know how it's been going. But what's going on now, and what is really going to happen with this supposed shutdown of the operation? Tim Wegener is a core leader of Invisible Twin Cities, a local chapter of National Indivisible. It's a grassroots group of volunteers. Tim, thanks for being here. A lot still going on. We know there was the pullback of troops, allegedly. Then there was now the ending of this. But that didn't stop things in Minneapolis from still being very, very tense this weekend and up until yesterday, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I think the biggest thing that changed over the last 2 weeks with Tom Homan was their PR strategy. That changed.
Okay. Yeah.
Facts on the ground didn't change. I mean, I think it was Tuesday, we had a high-speed multi-vehicle crash in basically downtown St. Paul, residential area, where they were chasing somebody at a high rate of speed. And this is just one example of the lawlessness and the terrorism that they're inflicting upon the Twin Cities in Minnesota.
How are people responding to what's happening? Because we're 6 weeks into this? Because I know they started bringing in ICE agents in about December. Obviously, then we saw things escalate with the killing of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. So with the news and this ping-ponging back and forth with Tom Homan, how are people responding to this in the Twin Cities right now?
I think a lot of different ways, but I think the mindset that people have right now is this is the end of the beginning. Is this the best way to put it?
Okay.
I mean, there's some relief for sure. There's still anxiety and anger and sadness and all of the emotions that we've all been having. But more than anything, everybody's still resolved. I have been talking to people in our communities. You can see it in our chats. Everybody looked at yesterday's press conference where he announced they were pulling out and said, that's great. The work continues.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Governor Walz said, trust but verify. So how does that look for average Minnesotans? How does that look outside of Minnesota, as we've talked about, the possibilities of these kind of operations coming to Wisconsin? We've seen them already in Chicago, Los Angeles, all over. So what does trust but verify mean for us? How do we enact that?
Yeah, for Minnesota, I think what it means is a continuation of what we're doing. Looking out for your neighbors, making sure that they're being fed or that they've got adequate access to health care. All of the things we've been doing these last 6-7 weeks to make sure people could survive this. I think the broader picture for the rest of the country, one of the lessons learned, and I think there's a number of them that they can learn from what we did here, is get ready now. And what I mean by that is, in the month of January, community organizations in Minnesota trained over 30,000 constitutional observers in the month of January.
Wow.
The state Democratic Party trained over 10,000 constitutional observers in January. Indivisible Twin Cities, my group that I'm part of, we trained a couple thousand people. So I'm saying that because that gets you ready for when it does come to your city. It teaches you what you need to do to document. It teaches you what to do to hold them accountable. And most importantly, it teaches what you need to do to be safe while you're doing it.
We're talking with Tim Wagoner, a core leader of Indivisible Twin Cities, which is a local chapter of National Indivisible, a grassroots organization, talking about some of the ICE agents' withdrawal from the Twin Cities. You were mentioning training these observers. What other things did Indivisible Twin Cities do during, because I know you guys were very instrumental in helping organize protests and some of these bigger ones that have played out across the nation. Your group was very instrumental in helping with that on the local front. So what are some other things as a grassroots organization have you been involved in?
So certainly, as you just mentioned, the Constitutional Observer training, the protests. I mean, January 23rd, it was below zero all day. The wind chill was minus 20, and we had 75,000 people marching in downtown Minneapolis for 2.5 hours. Yeah, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I think, some other things that really mattered here, and I think this is another one of the lessons, is from the start, we, along with a lot of other organizations in the cities and clergy and everybody else, leaders, elected leaders, first and foremost, it was stay nonviolent, stay peaceful, stay assertive. I mean, don't back down, but don't give them what they want. That was what we were really involved in, was trying to do our part to make sure that the community understood, as awful as this was, as many atrocities were being committed, and I don't use that phrase lightly, but that's what they were. We could not give them what they wanted. They wanted chaos. They wanted the city to burn so that they could come in with the Insurrection Act and all the other things, and we never gave it to them. And that's how we ended up winning this battle.
Yeah, it was the restraint shown and the dedication shown. You mentioned the weather, but just the restraint also shown by people in Minneapolis was amazing. You mentioned at the beginning of our conversation the PR strategy has changed from Tom Homan. Do you think that the sudden decision to withdraw and to end this operation coincides at all with the fact that, hey, there's a vote coming up about funding, and public outcry against funding ICE is at an all-time high? Is there a connection, in your opinion?
Absolutely. Not a big fan of, or not a big believer in coincidences.
There you go.
Not at all. I think two things happened. The murder of Alex Preddy was the turning point. If you look at the polling and you look at what was happening, it all cratered on them after that event. And so when Homan came in, he knew what he had to do, which was to bring this to an end, because they just continue to lose on it. And then when the vote was scheduled for yesterday, that was just a convenient circumstance for him to then say, "Oh, see, now we're leaving." This administration does not do anything without an evil purpose behind it.
Now, you mentioned a little earlier that even with the withdrawal of any sort of ICE agents, your job is not done in the Twin Cities. So what does that look like going forward? Because they have said that there will be some agents still there. But what does that look like for your group going forward, even with the withdrawal of the agents?
Yeah. So the first thing is we and everybody else that's been organizing around this, we're going to continue to have patrols. We're going to continue to have observers. We're going to continue to have groups making sure that the immigrant families that have been targeted have what they need. That's all the short-term stuff. Mm-hmm. As we get into the medium term, we've got elections coming up here, as everybody does, midterms. And the conversation we're just now starting to have, but we're going to continue to have it, and I hope others will have it, is all of those constitutional observers now need to become poll protectors in November. They've made it abundantly clear that they're going to try to intimidate people into not voting. Well, Minnesota's already shown we're not willing to be afraid to stand up for what we believe in. So I think that's really the next phase for this for us, is making sure that come November, people feel safe going out to vote so that we can change what needs to be changed.
Tim Wegener is our guest. He's a core leader of Indivisible. Why do we all keep, because we want to say invisible, but it's Indivisible Twin Cities. IndivisibleTwinCities.org is the website. It's all well and good that they're ending this operation. It's great that the troops will not be there. There will still be an ICE presence. We see it in Chicago. We see it everywhere. They're still there. But what seems to be lacking in all of this is a discussion about accountability. And who, is there going to be justice for Renee Good and Alex Pretty? Is there going to be any sort of accountability for these ICE agents? And that doesn't seem to be part of the conversation yet.
It's not. Governor Walz mentioned it yesterday in his press conference, and our Attorney General Keith Ellison, he's been talking about that as well. Obviously getting the federal government not letting the state be part of the investigation into both of these murders tells us, they have no interest in accountability. But we already knew that.
Right.
Look, accountability is going to come over time. And no one likes to hear that, but that's really the only way that that's going to happen. We're going to need to vote out these people who are enabling this. And it's not just Trump and it's not just Stephen Miller. I mean, there's basically every Republican in Congress has enabled all of this to happen. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to have to be voted out so that then we can have people who are interested in accountability, who are interested in the rule of law, and who wants to hold these people who, not only did they violate the law, they violated the Constitution. It's going to have to happen, but it's going to take time.
I want to ask you about a ruling that came down last night. If you haven't seen the news, it was a federal judge, a Trump appointee, ruled that ICE detainees in Minnesota were effectively blocked from assessing attorneys at the Whipple Federal Building, violating their Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights. And so what was Indivisible Twin Cities' reaction to that ruling from this Trump appointee last night?
It's nice to see that even Trump appointees get it and want to follow the law. I think that's our reaction to it. We know from people that have been held at Whipple all of the violations of constitutional rights. I live in a suburb of the Twin Cities on the east side of town, and one of our neighbors, he's an American citizen. He's a realtor. He was filming ICE from his car. They boxed him in. They broke his window. They pulled him out, slammed him to the ground, and took him to Whipple for 12 hours. No lawyer, no nothing. That's one example. And that's an American citizen they're doing that to. Imagine the atrocities. And again, I don't use that word lightly, but we know from the people that have been held there what they're doing to people inside that building.
Tim, before we let you go, as somebody who is observing this from the outside, and the whole world has been watching what's happening in the Twin Cities, what's the biggest lesson you think the rest of us could learn from what you folks have achieved in Minneapolis?
Democracy is not a spectator sport. It really isn't. You have to be involved. And we all are busy. We all have families. We all have lives. But this matters. If they can do it to my neighbor down the street, they can do it to me. They can do it to you. Get involved.
There you go. And it sounds so simple, but it is really the core of this whole thing. And again, we talked about it all the time, watching the people marching in sub-zero temperatures. This was not an easy time of year to be demonstrating. You had to really want it. You had to really care. And Minnesota showed up.
We did. We're very proud of Minnesota, as you can imagine.
I don't blame you. Well, Tim Wegener has been our guest. He's a core leader of Indivisible Twin Cities. I got it right on the last time. IndivisibleTwinCities.org. Tim, thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Grassroots organization, too, so go check it out if you want to help them out. There's also chapters throughout the country. 7:48 right now. You are listening to Civic Media Mornings. My name is Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. Oh, are we in one of the most romantic states? We'll talk a little Valentine's Day to wrap things up on the Civic Media Network.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Tim.
much, Tim.
Yeah. Appreciate
that was
it.
great.
Good stuff.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks for highlighting it. It's we do appreciate it. So
well,
I gotta say, I lived in the Twin Cities for a good chunk of time with my family. We would love to be back there someday because it always, as this crew knows on the morning team, it's got a piece of my heart. It always will. So we love being able to come. I love it. So thank you so much, and good luck to everything to you and the group, and And best wishes up there because, yeah, I've got plenty of friends who've been out protesting that I've been in communication with and have been volunteering. And so I've seen some of the groundwork. With
Excellent.
them,
Yeah.
so.
We've got a lot of work to do here. I mean, there's a lot of rebuilding that has to happen, and it's going to take a long time.
Well, keep fighting the good fight, man. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Will do.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
guys.
much.
Take care,
Thank you,
Tim.
Tim. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
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 All right. Valentine's Day. Are you going to jump in here, Frank, and talk about Valentine's
course.
Day with us?
Frankie,
Okay. All right.
Frank.
Frank's got thoughts. Are these agreeable?
Frank has
Agreeable
hot takes. Hot Valentine's takes.
Woo!
Allison's still asleep, so I'll fire these off while I'm safe.
What would happen if Mrs.
Mrs.
Frank was awake, though?
He wouldn't
Good
come
at
on.
talking to. Strongly worded email.
My husband said to me last night, he's like, you're off on Mondays. Like, do you, there's theater in town. Do you want to go do something? I was like, can we sleep? Like,
Please. Be refreshed.
I was like, can we sleep? I'm at the point where I've lost so much
Oh my
sleep, I just feel giddy.
Yeah.
Where did
Like, you get
Cam
kind of-
come from?
Yeah, that
Great
could have
question.
been consolidated to fewer texts.
Hello, Cam.
Hello, Cam. Yes, I know
Hi,
you're
Cam.
watching.
Thanks for
Hello,
listening, Cam.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. I just all of a sudden I was focused on our conversation and and had things I wanted to add, and now I see that Cam has
A lot of thoughts fired off from Cam.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's good.
It's good to see you again, Cam. It's been a bit.
He said Adderall.
Cam always
I love it.
quick and with the jokes.
You cannot be in the closets behind me. There are too many skeletons back there, Cam. There's a lot of. It's like Mr. Peabody. If I open those doors, things just come tumbling out.
A lot in
Yes. Yes, Cam, I'm reading your texts now. I did live in the Twin Cities. We were there for about 6 years.
All right, we'll be back in about 15 seconds here.
Cam referenced it, but I did love the protest where they were all throwing dildos at the.
Oh,
police
yeah. No,
vehicles.
that was great.
Made me laugh and laugh because I'm a child. Can we say dildo on the stream?
7:52 right now. You're listening to Civic Media Mornings on the Civic Media Network. My name is Jamie Martinson. I
And
feel like
I'm
I missed
Brian
something.
Noonan, and I am.
How
in
did
just,
you miss it?
I am in just a fun little
I
mood
can't-
this morning.
Because when Parker gets ready for us to go into the on-air
Yeah.
mode, it cuts all of my audio from StreamYard until he turns me back on.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm,
So
oh,
Jamie
yeah.
Lock. Oh.
I cut. Yeah.
So I missed
I don't
all
know
the
if I
good
can say the
stuff.
last thing I heard.
No, you can't.
Okay.
You cannot.
Why not?
Because
All
we're
right.
a morning show.
It's more. It's
Isn't
more
safe
internet friendly
harbor
than
law.
It is, air friendly.
It's
All right. All right. All
hi.
right.
Yes. Hey,
We're
tomorrow's,
regrouped.
tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Here's the thing. There's going to be various opinions, but we want your opinion too at 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. How long into a relationship do you either stop celebrating Valentine's Day or you see that your Valentine's celebration just evolves into something a little less showy, a little less thirsty, a little less, oh, do you love me today? That kind of thing. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842.
Is that how you got Mrs. Bryan? By asking her if she loved you today, just like that?
I did.
Is
That and
okay,
a
all
burlap sack over the dome. Boop. That's how we do it where I come from.
All right. All right.
Also, Jamie found this states being voted the most romantic, the most
I did.
intimate, the most, oh my goodness.
Yeah. It was a DoorDash, so highly scientific,
Reputable.
I'm sure. Yes. But,
That's where I get all my information.
But, they probably get it. I mean, how often do we go to DoorDash to have all these things delivered to our house because we don't actually want to take the time to go out and get it ourselves? So
And
they
in
probably know more
Wisconsin-
about us.
And in Wisconsin, it seems we don't want to do anything anyway.
Oh, no. We're not
Because-
romantic. We're not
throw
intimate. Yeah.
that stat for Wisconsin.
Because DoorDash actually analyzed all their ordering data to rank the most romantic and most intimate states. And they were based on, the rankings were based on purchases of flowers, chocolates, sweets, some cases more of those private items. Now, the most romantic state in the country is Delaware. Seriously? Delaware.
There's not too many.
Yeah,
That's
I was
because who
gonna
doesn't
say,
love
all
an
five
LL
of them are
Bean
really
sweater and some syrup? Hey,
course.
baby, I want to keep you sticky and cozy.
Oh, see, that goes into the intimate category. So now you might be dabbling a little bit in both. But Delaware leads in the orders of flowers, chocolates, plush toys, and balloons during Valentine's week last year. All of that is boring and stupid. I'm sorry. If that's what you're getting your significant other, more power to you. I hope
All
they
right.
love those things.
Let's
I would
get
not.
into the question, because we have everybody at different stages of relationships.
Sure.
And then there's Parker with no one in his life.
Parker, do you have a date for this weekend?
Do I have a date for this weekend?
Yeah.
I have a date with my couch and basketball, I think.
Jealous.
Oh, my Lord.
All right. That doesn't actually sound horrible.
No, it doesn't sound horrible.
No,
All right,
I'm
I've been
jealous.
married the longest out of the group.
Okay. Yep.
And we started off like every other couple, where it was, big grand gestures to prove our love for each other. And mostly I say our, and it always comes down to the guy having to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies do it some, and but overall it was the guy. But now, after it'll be 34 years next in April. 34 years will be. Now it's slowed down. It was like, why waste money? My wife has always hated cards, so I don't get her cards.
Lame.
I've
Agreed.
mentioned that I get
Cards
flowers.
suck.
I get flowers throughout the year, which made Frank very upset because
I do not.
I do. And now we do like kind of experience stuff if we do anything. Tomorrow we're going to Lakefront Brewery to get our vows renewed and get a free
love
beer.
that.
It's going to be fun, and I said, because a box came, and I knew the box had a label, and I knew where it was from. And I was like, you said we're not getting each other gifts. And she said, I didn't get you a gift. I said, there's only one person in the house who uses this product, and it's moi. So now I'm in that catch-22. Frank, you'll understand this, and Jamie Corey would understand this, where, we're not getting it. Now, do I run the risk of staying true to that?
No.
Or do I have a
No.
little something?
No.
Even though
don't.
yesterday I brought
No.
home flowers.
Doesn't matter.
Just
No.
cause.
No.
Why?
I
Hold
know.
on. Why would you?
It's way too early.
Who
It's way too soon
who buys just
for
because
just 'cause.
flowers just a couple days before Valentine's?
Yeah.
The guy
can't
who
do
the
that.
guy who then
early bird
says
special?
No. The guy who then says these are
He
just
is old.
tulips. They're not. No. They're not like
Oh.
Valentine flowers. They're just regular flowers. And I said Happy Valentine's Day. So I covered myself just in case, but I don't think I
don't
did.
think you did.
I
No,
don't think
I
you
don't think you
did.
did at all.
I don't think you did either. I think you got some errands to run later today, and I
Right,
think it
but
needs
she
to
said,
involve
but
some
she
shopping.
said, but tomorrow's outing is supposed to be our Valentine's gift to each other.
For whom?
She couldn't have been more excited when I mentioned this to her after we had Russ on the show, and I said, "Hey, I got an idea for Valentine's Day. What do you think of this?" And once I said, "And you get a free beer," honest to God, her eyes lit up. She's 100% on board.
I feel like you
Lakefront
still,
is awesome. I'm
It
not
is.
gonna lie.
As you hold up your lakefront
Nice
glass,
product.
I do.
I think you still need to like surprise her with something little. It probably doesn't need to be like a big thing, but maybe like after you renew the vows or something, right? Like you surprise her with something little, like she's drinking her free
I've been
beer.
surprising her with something little for 34 years, Jamie. Good morning.
We have some texts coming in. Tom from Hartford had a couple of good ones. He said, well, it never ends celebrating Valentine's Day. And
good for
then
you,
to Parker,
Tom.
he said, date with a couch.
I realized
Which
after
I
I said
think
it,
may
it
be a
sounded
JD
little
Vance
JD
reference.
Vanquish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I will say that we've been married for 23 years.
Very nice.
Almost 23 years. Valentine's Day, never been an important day for us. It was when our kids were little, and I would always go above and beyond doing fun things for our kids. But for
yeah.
Corey and I, we were just like, whatever. Here's my thing with Valentine's Day. I committed to this human being because I love this human being and I love him every single day. I don't need one day of the year to show that. I just don't. And I don't love flowers because there's been flower mishaps in our house. It's too long of a story to get into this morning. But I just, no, let's just go do something fun. We're at that point where we just want to go do something fun by ourselves.
See?
Yes.
Just do something fun. Frank, keep that in mind with Mrs. Frank.
I will.
But you're
All right.
going out to dinner, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
Of
All right.
course you are.
Well, we'll tell her. By the way,
You're a young
Wisconsin,
couple.
Wisconsin on the DoorDash thing, number 3 for the least most romantic states ever. 7:59 right now. You're listening to Civic Media Mornings on the Civic Media Network. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
Okay, live stream. Goodbye. Have a good weekend.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.